just got accepted because they thought he showed enough alertness and awareness to give him therapy. And it's very hard to get into that hospital.
Okay. You got proof of that too?
I had proof, but I probably got, they have the records at Shepherd.
Okay. And what paperwork do you have you want to show?
Well, I have, I have the letters from the Department of Family and Children's Services. I have pictures from when he was in the hospital with his bruising. I have pictures showing you how nasty they kept his room, and it was just unsanitary. And I have pictures of his pressure sores.
Okay. And you got the paperwork where they told you that those things were perfectly normal and it's fine, yada, yada, yada. Every time you complained, they told you it was okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I kept telling the state worker, Steve Scott, that I have made these suggestions to how Christians should be cared for, but nobody listened to me. And another thing is, the caregivers made complaints a lot because Christian was so long, he was very tall, and they made complaints a lot to how it hurts their back to turn him. Then they should not have been caring for him. And I told them if they have a problem taking care of my son, I'll be more than glad to help them take care of my son.
They would never let you help.
No longer they wouldn't even let me help him with their changing and getting him up.
And what were you saying about kissing him? You told me.
Yeah, I kiss all my kids on the lips. It's not dirty. It's these are my children. And they said that it was bothering the patients. Well, most of the patients that were around Christian had dementia or Alzheimer's. And so, it wasn't, I'm sure it wasn't the patients.
So you also feel that they were
discriminating against me.
They didn't want you around,
right,
telling them how to take care of your own son.
Right.
Okay.
And I had proof of how I took care of him and the outcome of how I took care of him. Okay. And how as soon as they start taking care of Christian, he starts showing up with all these different things. Plus the fact that why they wouldn't let him go see his primary physician who knew his history. And when you would call to try and get any kind of phone calls to the doctors, half the time they wouldn't return them. And the nursing home didn't want me to tell them how to take care of Christian, but I had been taking care of them.
Okay.
So I don't know why they didn't want me to help. And there is a nurse who used to work with Ashton Woods. Her name is Miss Coleman, and she left the facility. But she told me that if I ever needed to show how I took care of Christian, and how when they started limiting my visits to Christian, how he started, you could see his going downhill.
Yeah. Now his father doesn't
do anything.
Do you think if you had financial help, things would have been differently?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Because
I had told him he hadn't helped my children.
He who?
Their father hadn't helped my children.
I don't know.
He might have seen Christian in all those years, maybe 4 times. And I asked him if he would help us, and because he had monies that were supposed to go to the kids from my divorce when they turned 18.
Now he's a former NBA
ball player. Yes.
Okay, Buzz Stallworth.
Right.
Isaac Stallworth.
Isaac Stallworth, and he took his pension early, but he was not supposed to, because the court order said in our divorce that when we got divorced, when his pension is due to come, that the NBA also was supposed to disperse it half, and I didn't want half, so I had it broken down into 3 parts for each one of my sons, so that when they turn 18, or 21, they would receive this monies. He went in and took his money early, and the NBA was not supposed to release it. And my children could go after their father for this, but I don't know if they would.
Okay. So through all the stress of taking care of Christian and his father not helping out, it took a toll on your body, right? So now you develop like heart conditions or something?
Well, it took a toll on where I have, I'm disabled because I have arthritis in my neck and my back, and I've had surgeries on both hands and elbows, and I've just had a series of medical problems. I also contracted seizures.
Okay.
And I hadn't had seizures in years, and I'm under so much stress right now. Because
did you have seizures earlier in your life?
No.
Did you have any seizures before Christian got sick?
No.
Okay. So your heart medicine, you started taking heart medicine for whatever reason.
Right.
And you went to Kroger to get your heart medicine.
Yes.
And what happened?
When I went to go get my prescription filled, the pharmacist manager asked me to come over to the side, and he apologized and said that he was very sorry, but they had given me the wrong heart medicine. And they also said that they had fired the pharmacist that had given me the wrong heart medicine, Miss Laxman. And I don't know how many people she possibly had given the wrong medicine to, but I was told that mine wasn't the only case. And if they knew this, then why didn't they go back over her records to see the prescriptions that she had filled, to see if she had made any mistakes with any other customers?
Okay.
But they let me take the medicine for 30 days before they even told me I had taken the wrong heart medicine. And I never took heart medicine before because I didn't have a heart condition.
Right.
And so I couldn't tell you if it was the right heart medicine or not.
Okay.
Other than when I did take this medicine, it would slow my heart rate down for so many hours, and then because it wasn't time released, it would be like my heart would start beating so fast it felt like it was going to jump out my chest.
Yeah.
So I went to the doctors, and she had to increase it, and she had to put me on some medicines that would make me more relaxed and keep my heartbeat at a regular pace.
Okay.
And then I haven't had seizures in years, and all of a sudden, a week ago, I had a petite seizure at Walgreens.
Okay.
And that day I had a physical, and my EKG came back abnormal. My blood pressure was up, and I have been having that problem.
That was your first seizure since before you started taking the heart medicine?
Yes. I hadn't had a seizure. I hadn't had a seizure in years before I started taking that heart medicine.
Okay. All right.
And then then they corrected it, but they allowed me to take this medicine for 30 days.
But you still feel side effects?
Things
that you weren't feeling before that you feel are related.
Well, one thing is I haven't had. Why did I have a seizure and I haven't had one for years? And everything I was taking was
and you felt
my medicine. What my Dilantin level, which is the medicine I take for my seizures, was at therapeutic range, which means it was 13, and that's very good because it's supposed to be between 10 and 20. Something else caused me to have this seizure.
Did you feel heart problems or feel differently about your heart before you realized that it was the wrong medicine, or before